today we're here to discuss We're Sinking. We're not actually sinking.
But you forgot the exclamation.
We're sinking!
Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Okay, so yeah, the game is We're Sinking.
Right.
We're not actually sinking, although a few of our chairs might sink. Yeah. No, that's stinking.
Oh, God, that's a good point.
Before we get into the discussion on this kind of slightly betrayal game, we'll make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can follow along with all of our adventures.
That's all he did there.
Yes. On the high seas.
Can you guys help me?
You're beyond help.
Totally.
So, Rob, what can you tell us about this game?
We're Sinking is a 2024 release. Overall rank is 9,658, but it's pretty good rating, individual rating at 7.3. Plays 3 to 6 people. Plays in 45 to 90 minutes, ages 10 and up. I think you could probably go even a little bit younger on that. Designed by Joseph Frederick, who also helped with the art with Roman Novikov. Published by Ludibus Games. Now, I don't know if it's readily available for retail because I couldn't find that many websites that have it, but I did see, I think, used copies by Dryad Games, Noble Knight, and Gamers Guild. All of them have it.
Well, when I was at Gamma, I went by Lucky Duck's booth, and they actually had it at their booth, so I think Lucky Duck is going to be publishing it. So,
but they all have it for $55. I don't know what Lucky Duck.
I'm assuming Lucky Duck's going to be redistributing this, so it'll probably become more readily available.
Okay, so $55 on one of those 3 websites.
All right, so for that money, let's see what you get in the box.
Right.
First of all, you get this multi-layered pirate ship that will gradually sink on you, as the game says, we're sinking. So you're going to be taking hits from some kind of a rival. They have multiple in the game. We decided to jump whole hog in and get the hardest one, thanks to Sarah picking it.
Okay, but he did not tell me it's the hardest one. He didn't even know it was the hardest one when I picked it.
But to be fair, at both times we've played, we've sank the villains, so it's not.
This time we played against the Skull Sayer.
That's what we played the same ones. But yeah, even the hardest level is not not that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we got close this game to sinking.
We did, and we actually was wanting it to sink.
Yeah.
So
and you sometimes do want it to sink.
Yeah.
I won, so I'm glad it didn't sink.
But the ship is really cool.
It is very neat. In each layer, as it sinks, you get these little treasure tokens. So it's kind of neat.
I didn't collect a single one of those.
Yeah. But the box has a nice storage system where everything is custom fitting into it, and there's a dispenser for the dice that has the lid for it, and it's got the We're Sinking logo on it.
That's pretty cool.
So it stores all the pieces for you. The card stock, it does have a slight linen finish. But it is a little bit, it's curling a little bit. Thick. You're probably going to want to sleeve them because you do shuffle the deck quite a bit in the course of the game.
And you got some cardboard.
You got these player mats that are also slight linen finish. They're also slightly bowing, but they're bigger, so you don't notice it as much. And they don't do anything other than give you kind of the guide of what each turn.
And a little bit of flavor on the back.
Yeah. And what your starting
card
weapon is, or card. So you get some little cardboard chest tokens, and those they're very thin, but that's because they go on the boat's layers, and then they're exposed.
Some custom dice.
Yeah, the dice are actually pretty nice.
Yeah, they're not bad.
And you have these little dials that are color coded to match the players, and they have an icon on them that matches the player's icon. So, I mean, there's nothing that, apart from the ship, that is outstanding, but the ship is really cool.
It's very cool.
It's what lured us into the booth when we saw it. And I think I'm probably going to give this an 8 because of that ship. And none of the other stuff takes away from it, really. What do you think?
I'll agree on 8.
Okay.
Other than the ship is very cool, don't get me wrong. But that's really it.
Yeah.
Is the ship. So I think I want to go just a little bit lower at 7.5.
Well, it's also the storage mechanisms, too.
And I don't own it, so 7.5.
Okay. It's a half point difference.
Yeah.
All right. Moving to theme, so this thing is very thematic for pirates.
It is thematic, that's true.
So what's really cool is, coincidentally, like the main boss that we're fighting in this, the Skull Sayers, there's cursed amulets that they're in search of. and it seems like they're very good at finding them. So one thing is they have a mechanism where they can steal them from people's hands, which that we never even had that happen this game, but they still managed to get 2 of the cursed amulets because they took the bottom card out of the plunder, and it coincidentally was the cursed
amulet.
amulet. And they were able to steal a lot of them the last time we played too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like they're very adept at doing that.
The artwork is okay. It's kind of cartoony, but I'm okay with that.
I love cartoon.
Well, I do too, but it's just like because the game is pretty darn light.
Yeah.
The artwork fits the mechanics of the game and the feel of the game.
Yeah, and the Skull Stairs is very reminiscent of the Black Pearl.
Kind of.
Yeah, it reminds me of the
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very fun theme, and you do backstab a little bit, but it's not like a painful backstab in this game.
It's not like super painful, but it's more of it's a pain in the butt, but that's about it.
Yeah, so you're basically choosing actions, and you say what you're going to do, but then you turn your dial to whatever you're actually going to do. So
because you're like a pirate.
Yeah. So and even within the same action, you may plan to do one thing, but do something else entirely when you do it. So, there's no commitments, because we're every person for themselves.
And the cards you play can actually change as well. So there's a lot of unique actions.
So, I mean, this is where, to me, it's the strongest suit is the theme of this, and I'm going to give it a 9.
I think 9's a good score because, again, the boat is beautiful and it's really neat. It fits the game very well. The mechanics fit the game, and the artwork's really nice for this level of complexity of game.
I like it.
Okay.
So what score would you give it?
Good to know.
Sarah gives it a lot.
I wasn't done.
Okay, go ahead.
9.
9. Okay.
Oh.
All right, so moving on to the rulebook. The rulebook is 20 pages long. It's got basically just a text cover.
And it's not a big
doesn't really
rulebook.
match, no. But the first page is kind of the prologue. It just gives you another flavor.
Some more flavor.
And then there's the component list with pictures, which is always great. The goals of the game, there's basically 2 different ways this game can play out, whether you defeat the villains or they sink your ship, and depending on which one, they have opposite basically win conditions,
Right, which is kind of neat, actually.
I like that. Then you have set up for the next 2 pages a quick blurb on iconography, which you don't even need because you got a cheat card that has all that on it, and then they call it essential concepts, where they talk about your player hand, your items. I mean, it's just generic terms. It's not difficult at all.
Right.
And the how to play it runs from page 9 to page 17, and it goes through each step, kind of steps you through the phases. There's a little first player token that has all the steps on it. This is very helpful to walk you through, but it doesn't have a lot of detail. But the detail's here if you need it. Once you start playing, it gets kind of
I think after
easy.
one round, you don't need the rule book anymore.
Yeah, the hardest thing is to remember to do, look at this and actually follow
mainly
it.
roll the dice is what we kept forgetting.
Yeah, we kept forgetting the order because you get I want to play my action. It's like, no, I can't really do that yet. I'm supposed to do all these other things first. After the how to play is kind of just some descriptions of what's the treasures that you can get, the chests, what are on the chests. And then your cannons and how they upgrade, and that's basically it. They've got an FAQ online. They just point you to. They don't have it in the book. So I mean, it's a pretty simple read. There's really no confusion when you go through it. I think it does a good job, especially with the first player token having all the rules, and then the cheat sheet and your player card having the detail of your actions. So I'm going to go ahead and probably give this, because of those things, I'll probably go ahead and give it a 9.
Makes sense.
All right. Talk about gameplay now. So the start of the game, you're going to have 4 cards in your hand. You're going to have 3 of the clear water, which just takes up space in your hand, and 1 is your special card that each player gets. So after that, Sarah, do you want to walk through kind of the steps of the game?
Ooh, yeah. So, if you're the duty checklist person, or whatever, you have to check for breaches, which are holes in the ship.
And for each one, what happens?
You have to gain a water, which is...
And it goes over here into this pool. And there's a criteria each round about how much water has to be here before you sink a level on the
so
ship.
you do the breaches first, and then if you get to that number, you sink.
And then you check the water threshold. If it's below the number of how many waters you can have, you have to add 3. And
Well, you add what the card count that's pictured. So there's 3 water in this case.
Yeah,
and
each level of the
3
ship is
treasure.
different.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I thought it was only 3.
No, it's the 2 and 2
And
and
if
3.
it's equal or over, you flip this over and do this things on the
Well, we'll walk through that in a little bit. Go for the rest of this.
I will.
Okay.
Deal out ocean cards and treasure cards, which are the things that those things.
Yeah, so in this case, you're going to add more water to the bucket pool, and you're going to add treasure to the plunder pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you roll and resolve enemy dice, which these are the enemy dice.
This is them attacking us.
Yeah.
Which is really rude.
Yeah.
I know, it's the audacity.
I know.
So in this case...
Oh, that's a great roll there, Sarah. So
I know.
first he destroys 2 of our cannons. So we would take 2 of the cannons out of our fire
oldest.
pool.
Yeah,
and it's always the top of 2.
Yeah, we
and
basically flip them
flip
over,
them over
and they got
and
like
they're
holes in the cannon.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you have to repair those if you want them back.
And then we gain a
We
water.
gain another water, so you'd add
And-
another water to the pool from the water deck, which actually may or may not be water.
Yeah, it could be treasure.
Yeah,
treasure
it's-
or water.
And then there's the boarding party. And it's move the lowest card in the treasure column, and you move it to their stash.
Yeah. So basically, each villain or bad guy is going to be different.
Yeah, they all have their own abilities.
This one in particular steals your treasure cards.
Mm-hmm.
So then, discuss and declare actions.
That's mine.
Where's
So we have
mine?
these little
Right there.
dials,
Oh.
and all the little icons for each of the 4 actions is represented on the dial. So we declare and we discuss what we're going to do.
All right, so we need to get rid of the water,
Yeah,
and
I'm
we
gonna
also
patch
need to
them.
repair things. So I'm going to go to the water.
I'm a patch.
I think I'm going to patch as well
Yeah,
because
patch with me.
basically, if too many people go to the bucket to get it, really reduces the efficiency of getting rid of the water.
You gain it apart from the repair or the fire. You're basically gaining by only having one person go there. If multiple people go there, you can waste your actions. So then we all reveal.
So
And I
so,
move into the treasure.
so then both Sarah
Hey.
and Randy want us to die, so that they're more concerned about stealing treasure. Where
Right.
I,
And we
being the
paid for it this
hero,
time.
I did the repair.
So
Get any.
So yeah, there's only one treasure now, and we both went there. So normally we would alternate taking treasure since we both went there. But since both of us went there, and there's only one, nobody gets
one
it at
gets
all,
it.
and that treasure gets sinks.
You're not very nice.
Well,
Even though we already
you had the
I already
option
won.
of doing what you said.
And so for the
You
repair
didn't-
action, the number of hammers will allow you to do that much repair. So we only have the one card that can
Well, you
repair
have-
with one hammer.
Oh no, you got these too. You
Right,
got the
but
cannons.
I'm not worried about the cannon. So
Okay.
I'm fixing the breach. So basically, this card goes into the discard pile.
It goes to the bottom of
It's the bottom of the boom boom deck is what we've been calling it
yeah, that's what the
because it
damage
looks like an
deck.
explosion.
Well, you've been calling that, and,
you,
then
you
we
did,
copied
yeah, you started it after me.
You
All right.
started it.
Okay, kids. So
You're a child too.
That's true.
I just act like one. I'm not really a child.
Neither is he,
I
but he still
did
acts
stay
like.
at a Holiday Inn Express.
I'm
For those
gonna-
people that don't remember that commercial.
Right.
All right.
All right. So we've done that.
So yeah, so then that would mark the end of the round, and we would go to the next round. So then again, you would evaluate. In this case, we definitely are sinking a layer. So you
For
would
sure.
actually remove the bottom layer. If the boat sinks, the first thing you're going to do is take all the cards that are in the bucket pool, the plunder pool, and the discard pile, and you're going to shuffle them back
And make a new deck.
into the main deck. Then you're going to, if there's any cards down here that were damage cards, they get removed, and we put a permanent damage token that's always going to be there, and you can't repair it.
Right.
So it's going to add more water to the pool.
It'll speed up the game.
Yeah, it accelerates the sinking of your
Yep.
ship. And then after that, we skip back to phase 3, which means you're not going to evaluate for
Because you've already sunk the ship.
Right, and then you're going to add more cards.
But then
based
we
on this.
rotate that map. So then that way, the next round, it's going to take more cards to sink it, but it's actually speeding it up. You
Yeah.
think it would slow it down, but it just happens much quicker.
Yeah.
Because it adds more water cards. The damage cards can add more water very quickly.
So you go through 4 levels, and then if you hit your 4th level and it sinks again, the boat sank.
Right.
And at that point, you're going to evaluate for victory. The other condition is if the main villain is defeated.
Which is what happened this time,
Yeah.
and it led to
So
her winning.
the cool thing about this is the conditions are totally different. So like if you defeat the villain, who you can add up your treasure, and whoever has the most treasure wins.
Because it's all worth victory points.
Yeah, because they're worth victory points, and you can only have a max of 10 cards no matter what. So you can never go over 10 cards. But you can get these treasure chest tokens, which sink.
It doesn't count against you.
You can repair and take them. The other condition is if the boat sinks, then you want to be the lightest you can be. So you want to have the fewest cards in your possession. And whoever has the fewest cards wins the game. If there's a tie, then you evaluate the treasure to see who had the most.
Which thematically makes sense, because if you got a handful of cards after the ship sinks, that means you're sinking.
Yeah.
Because your pockets are full of loot.
Right.
So you're going to weigh too much. So.
Yeah.
But in this case, that didn't happen.
We got really close.
We
but-
did pretty good.
Yeah.
We did get pretty close.
So yeah, I think this is a lot of fun for a quick
It is
little
fun.
game. It's like, it's definitely a filler type game. It's not going to last long.
And it's kid friendly.
Yeah, it's definitely kid friendly, and a kid won. So obviously, it's definitely a fun little game, and it can play up to
Six people.
6 people, but it has to have a minimum of 3. So that's the trick. You got to have at least 3 people to play it. And honestly, I can't imagine trying to play it with less. Because,
Yeah, there'd be no way.
yeah. So overall, what would you think of this one, Sarah?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
A 9. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You really liked it. I think because you won.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not quite that high. I think it's a fun game. I love the theme on it. But I've already given it points for theme. So
Right.
based on the gameplay of it, I'm probably at 7.5.
You just said overall.
I think that if I had a family and I was going to play this often, or at least with maybe some people that just weren't that into board games that much, I'd probably give it a higher score. But I'm right at a 7. It's just very light. It's fun. It's fun the first time I play it, but it's certainly not one I would seek to buy or get myself. So
Okay.
it's very light.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on your group's taste.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you like light type party games, this is going to appeal to you. If you like heavier, meatier Euro type style games, this is obviously not that.
Right.
So yeah, if you are in the market for a kind of a backstabby light game, it's
Not too terribly mean.
terribly mean, but still has that feel of pirates and doing piratey things. This
And
definitely
it's
fits
cute.
that. Yeah. So go check it out.
Yeah.
And make sure you come back to our channel. You never know what you might find in our booty. That didn't sound right at all. No. All right, so see you next time on the open seas. Bye. Rob, what can you tell us about this game?
I can do that. So obviously we're sinking. So this is the 2024 release.
Wait a second.
What can you
Said,
tell
Rob,
me?
what can you tell us about this game? And you said, I can do that.
Yeah, I can tell you more about this game.
I said, what can you tell us about this game? And your answer was, I can do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
But this is what is the ending.
I don't know. I just lost it when he said it. It's like, you didn't even listen to the question
No, I
after
didn't.
you gave me all the grief about not introducing you.
All right.
So, Rob, what can you tell us about this game?
Quite a bit.
Good.
We're sinking.